Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm coming at you with an interesting video. Today I want to talk about making a penny can stove, but I'm going to take that a little step further and I'm going to make a penny can stove on steroids. Stay with me. Hope you enjoy. Okay folks, let's get started. First thing I want to talk about is the type of tin cans that I would normally use. This is the kind of can that I use for my standard penny can stove, but today we're going to use these Arizona tea cans. I like these because if you look at the diameter of them, they are a little bit larger in diameter, and the aluminum that they make these cans with is slightly thicker. So that's where I'm coming across with the term of soda can, penny can stove on steroids. So again, I'm going to start with 2 Arizona tea cans. I'm going to need a pair of scissors, a small block of wood, a push pin, and of course I need a penny. This penny is 1964, and if you get your penny, make sure that your penny is 1982 or older. Don't get anything from 1983 to a current penny, because in 1983 they started taking the majority of the copper out and making them a majority of the penny being zinc. So make sure it's at least 1982. I'm also going to need today a small pair of needle nose pliers, some fuel, and we're going to use our fuel. We're going to use heat today. You can also use denatured alcohol, and another fuel that you can use is 91% isopropyl alcohol or higher. And last but not least, I have a small pipe wrap insulation kit, or more specifically some fiberglass insulation. Now we're not going to need this much. I just picked this up for like $3 at my local hardware store, so we're going to need a little bit of insulation. Now let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to start this stove, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my block of wood and I'm going to take my first can and I'm going to set it right next to that block of wood, and I'm going to hold my push pin right here and I'm going to slowly spin this can around. What my plan is right now is I'm trying to score a line in the diameter of the can. And it's not that I'm going to use the push pin to cut it, I'm just marking a line. If you don't have a push pin, or should I say if you'd rather use like a Sharpie or something, you can use that for this step as well. But I like using the push pin. So you can see I have the line all the way around. I'm going to do this to both cans. Just like so. And I want to just check and see that that line is scored all the way around. Looks good. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take one of the cans and I want to put a hole right in the center of the can with my push pin, and I'm going to use my little block of wood, for the lack of a better term, as a hammer, like a little hammer or mallet. And I'm going to make about 5 holes here. And you can see that I'm spinning the push pin to release it. Just kind of pushing that baby in. Nothing too significant. You can see that I have a little number 5, like a dice 5. Now I'm going to take my small pointer that I was using and hopefully pop out this center hole and make it a little bit bigger. So I'm hitting it with my block of wood. Not too hard. I don't want to go too crazy with it. So I'm just making this center hole a little bit bigger so that my fuel can go in. You might need to push your pin through the holes again, you know, because after drilling that hole a little bigger, it might make those holes smaller. But that's what you want in the middle. At this point, I'm going to start with my holes. around the outside edge. Now you can see that the can has a little rim right there, and that right there where that pin falls, that's where I want to start putting my holes. So I'm going to use my little hammer because, like I said, these cans are a little thicker. I'm going to make 4 holes to start. Let's go right about there, right in the center between these two. Something like that. 3. These are going to be our ports in which our flames are going to come out. So there's my first 4 holes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 more holes right in the center of all of these holes. So I'm going to put one there, one there, one there, and one there. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm trying to do this video fairly quickly. I don't want to bore you guys, and I don't want the vid to be too long. So bear with me. So I'm just doing my best to try to find the center between all the holes. Now we have a total of 8 holes. Now I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to go to the center between all of these holes. So this will be number 9 right here. There's 9. Number 10 coming up. 11 will be right here. I'm having to use this wood block. 11, because the aluminum on this is a little thicker than a regular soda can. 12 is going to go right here. 13. 14. 15 right there. And the last one will be 16 right here. This, if you notice, this is the same amount of holes that I use in my standard soda can, penny can stove. 16 holes. See that? Now we're all done with our push pin for now and our block of wood. We're going to put those back together and just set them aside. Okay, from here I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to find the line that I made. I'm going to go up towards the top of the can and just kind of cut. Just a big cut. And I'm going to go fairly close to the line. I'm just doing a real rough cut right now. Nothing too crazy. Throw that aside. And from here now I'm going to do my fine cutting right along that line, all the way around. This cut needs to be really straight. So take your time on this cut. Try to make it as clean as you can. You don't want a bunch of jagged edges on this cut, because if you have that, then you'll have the possibility of your can splitting. Okay, so there you have it. We're going to do the same thing with this can. There's our line. We're going to go up towards the top of the can. Just cut kind of crazy. Come a little bit close. Throw that aside. Looks like this had some tea inside or something. So let's go make our nice precise cut now. So we use the push pin just to mark the can. And if you're viewing this video and you want to follow this video, you can do this with a standard soda can. Okay, the techniques don't change or anything like that. Main thing is you want everything nice and clean. So I have two pieces that are equal. One of them has the vent holes in the top and the other one doesn't. At this point, I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and I'm going to find an imaginary line on them. It'd be nice if I had, like, okay, you can see where the discoloration ends about right there or something. So that's, I'm going to try to bite it about the same spot every time, and I'm just going to kind of tweak it. Go up an inch, tweak it. Go up an inch, tweak it. And I'm giving it these little tweaks, and I'm going the same depth down on the bite. I'm just going up an inch each time. It doesn't have to be an inch exactly, it's just give or take a little bit, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect or anything. So when I'm done, I have something that looks like this. The reason I need this is because when I put the pieces together, I want it to fit nice and easy. And this helps facilitate that. Okay, now is the portion of this project that we want to take some fiberglass insulation. So I'm going to open this stuff up. And I'm just going to get a little bit. I'm going to try to see, I don't know, maybe something like that maybe. I'm just going to cut that stuff off. And I'm going to pack this down inside of this bottom can. I might have gotten a little much, but we'll see here in a minute. So I'm just kind of rolling that stuff in. I'm just going to pack this stuff right down in the can. What this is going to do is this is going to serve as a wick so that when we put our stove together, when we put our liquid in there, it's going to soak that liquid up so that if we were to drop the stove or knock it over, we're not going to have our fuel going everywhere. Now I'm going to put this upper part with the vents right on top, and I'm going to slowly squeeze. Now be careful right here. If you've got your thumb here and if it was to slip loose, this upper can could cut your thumb. So be real careful in this step. I like to come back to my block of wood and just kind of easily tap that thing into place. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just like this. See that? Got a nice fit. Don't have to tap it all crazy or anything like that. We just want to make sure that everything is straight so that we have the same height on both sides. It looks like this side's a little bit high, so I'm going to just tap a little more. Just trying to look. I'm looking here and I'm kind of measuring and looking and just visualizing it. Now if you have a little bit of excess metal, just kind of rotate it over with your thumb. We're just kind of bending it in, and that'll just kind of seal up around the bottom of the can. Then take your wooden block and just kind of use that as a tool to kind of help bend that stuff around. What this will do is this will help seal the bottom up, and it'll keep the can stove together. That, my friends, is our penny can stove on steroids. Okay, you can see that I put an old piece of tile from when I did the tile in my house. I had a little scrap piece, and I'm just continuing to fill it up. I'm using that tile as a barrier because I obviously don't want to burn my table. Now you're probably wondering, what can I do to put this flame out when I'm done? If you have another can the same size, you can take your scissors while you're waiting on that fuel to soak in, and at the bottom of the can you can see there's a little where the paint ends. Just cut it right along that line. I'm going to cut real crazy first, just like I did earlier, I'm going to do that to remove the bulk of the aluminum. Now I'm going to just cut right down, like I said, where the paint ends. Get about as close to that as you can. This doesn't have to be crazy precise or anything like that. What we're doing is we're building a little top that goes over it, and this will help for when we want to put the stove out. You can see that it's a little bit more difficult to cut this high up because we're right on that curve, but just take your time and you'll get through it. The aluminum feels to be a little bit thicker here too. So you have something like this that's going to rest right on top of the stove like that, and that's going to put the flame out. So we'll keep that nearby and we'll continue to fill. If you spill a little bit of fuel all around the base of the stove, that's okay. You notice that it's not taking any more fuel. That tells us it's full. Take my rag and I'm going to clean any excess that's around, but if there's excess around here, I want to keep that. That's good. That's good fuel. That's going to help prime this stove. Let's go ahead and light this thing. I can feel the heat even though you can't see it. It's lit. I'm going to kill these lights behind me. Kill this overhead. Okay, and I got it going. Let's go ahead and throw our penny right on the top. What that penny is going to do is it's going to close the alcohol's ability or the fuel's ability to exhaust through that hole, and the result of that is to create pressure, which is going to help us burn. Now this stove is in the priming step right now. Once these flames and things around the bottom here go out, the stove will be primed and it'll be ready to go. I'm going to lower this camera angle here for you guys. So you can see that how quickly that stove has primed. It's already primed and it's pretty much ready, pretty much set. Puts out a great flame. Well, everybody, I want to say thank you for watching my video today on my Arizona tea can penny can stove. I hope that you found some good useful information today out of this video. Please feel free, as always, to like this video, share this video, leave comments down below if you care to. And if you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. Don't forget to look at my Facebook page. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Now get out there and make yourself a penny can stove using an Arizona tea can. It's awesome because the aluminum's thicker and they seem to prime a little faster. Again, one more thing, not to talk too much, but the insulation is optional. You don't have to have that. It just primes faster if you do. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.